Hi there, I'm ManBackwards, but you can call me Nom if you'd like. I'm a huge Persona fan, so I'm here to use my knowledge to help you decide what game might be a good starting point for you in this series. Now, I'm going to do my best to do this vaguely enough to where nothing major gets spoiled. Having said that, any comments I see that have any spoilers will be deleted, so please be courteous. From this point on, there might be random gameplay clips, but nothing that's going to spoil any major events. So if you want to get into the series casually and see if you like it, I highly recommend that you start with Persona 3 Reload. Now, this game is the most recently released game. It's beautiful. You can get it on all of the modern consoles. And I would say if you want to be fairly casual, this is a great starting point, not just because it's the newest, but because 3 goes before 4 and 5. So those are the biggest flagship games right now. Basically, what that's going to be like is if you play them in order. And that's just going to help you with certain references. Nothing too major, but just certain references won't go over your head. So that's an advantage of that. Alright. Now let's say, for some reason, you just can't play Reload. I would say if you don't care much for necessarily playing all the games in order, or you just really want to see if you like any of them, Persona 5 Royal is also a fantastic game. So that is perfectly fine to start with as well. You're just going to not get certain references, but nothing game-breaking or too bad. Now, let me talk about my favorite game personally, even still, is Persona 4 Golden. I would not start with this unless for some reason that is just the cheapest or most available game to you right now. It is a fantastic game, but it is a bit more dated than the other two. Let me see. Golden, like I said, has less robust graphics. But I highly recommend playing 3 before you play Golden, because I'd say Golden has the most references out of 4 and 5. So I would say if you want to play Golden, play Persona 3 Reload first, just because of those references. All right, now to make an argument for playing Golden first. It is the cheapest one by far. It is going to get remastered in a few years, I think, but not for a little while, according to current information. I believe they're going to release Persona 6 next in the Persona series. But Golden is $20 on the PSN right now. And let me see. And yeah, Reload in the PSN just got released, so that's $70. And Royal is $60 in the PSN. Okay, now for Steam. That is going to have the best sales on Persona games right now. First, Golden is only $12. There's also the deluxe edition, but I don't think that's quite worth it. But it's only $15, so it's not the end of the world. Alright, let's check out some other stuff. Reload is also on sale. Reload is 30% off. Every edition of it is right now. That is a very good deal. If you don't have a PC, the PSN is also quite expensive. If you have an Xbox, Game Pass is awesome, but we'll get into that in a little while. Next up, Persona 5 Royal is so cheap right now. Persona 5 Royal is 60% off on Steam. That's crazy. And I'll open up this can of worms. You can play Persona 3 Portable as well. I do not recommend doing that over Reload unless you are really pressed for cash, simply because Persona 3 Portable goes more into the digital, kind of like a digital novel style of game, just because it was originally released on the PSP. That's a weaker device than most Persona games are played on now. So basically, it's just not as good as Reload in a lot of ways. I will say that it does have some benefits. I'd say Portable is something you can play after you've played a different version of Persona 3, simply because Portable has some awesome stuff. In my opinion, it has the best social links out of any of the versions of 3. So that is definitely worth it for that alone. But also, you have the option to be a female protagonist in Persona 3 Portable. And it makes some of the blue cosmetic things in the UI, makes that pink instead of blue. It's just a fun touch. So there, I could go on about that for a long time though. So if you want to save some money, it's not a bad option. It's just not the best option for you right now. Right. And lastly, we have Game Pass as an option as well. So far, only a spin-off of Persona 5 called Persona 5 Tactica and Persona 3 Reload are on Game Pass. So that's an option to play Reload cheaper, but that's up to you. And of course, you have to have an Xbox or a PC. Alright, now let's talk about if you know you will absolutely love the Persona series, you haven't played any of the games, you've heard some stuff maybe here and there, you know you'll like it. There is another option, and that is to play all of the canon games in order. I'm going to go through them piece by piece here, but first I'm going to give you a little background on the earlier Persona games I have not talked about. And I'm going to refer to Persona, no number, just the first one, Persona 2 Innocent Sin, and Persona 2 Eternal Punishment. Those games were originally released on PlayStation, and they are very expensive now, if you were trying to buy that version. So there are options to play PlayStation games that I'm sure you're aware of. And there's also been re-releases of those games on PlayStation Portable. So they are in the PSN on some devices. So that's I think there's ways to get to it, but I'll make a separate video on that if you'd like to know. But basically, in order, the games go Persona PSP, Persona 2 Innocent Sin, Persona 2 Eternal Punishment, Persona 3 Reload, Persona 4 Golden, Persona 5 Royal. I did not include any spin-off games just because that is not as important unless you are very interested in furthering the story of those respective games. Of course, they are very fun in some ways. I like certain spin-off games a lot myself. I find a lot of it very fun, but we don't need to talk about all of those just yet, because this video is intended for people that haven't played the games yet. Anyway, that is all I wanted to say. Oh, sorry, one more thing here. So, you can start playing Persona PSP however you want to, but the gameplay isn't atrocious. It's playable, but it is very grindy and very time-consuming, and not the most fun way in my opinion. What I did myself is I went ahead and watched YouTube videos of the stories of Persona PSP, and I think I'm in the middle of Persona 2 Innocent Sin story. I've seen most of its story. I've definitely seen it summarized, so I know what happens, but I have not fully dived into, or dove in, I don't know, into every aspect of the older games. I'm looking forward to doing that soon. Also, there are currently rumors of those games being re-released in some way by Atlus. I don't know how true those are, but just, that's a possibility. So, I wouldn't recommend starting from Persona PSP unless you really want to make sure you play them in order. Alright, well that is absolutely it that I can cover in this 8 or so minute video here. I hope this was helpful. Please let me know in the comments if you have any questions. I will do my best to answer without spoiling anything. Again, no spoilers in the comments, please. And if you want any more videos on this type of stuff, I love it, so I can do this anytime. And I will post more about it. I do have a couple Persona videos that I plan on posting, just that I accidentally recorded recently. So I'll release those as soon as I can. And I will see you next time. Have a good one. Thank you so much for watching.